Good morning, puppies. Good morning. Welcome back to the Evans Family Garden. Sorry for all the noise. It's my kids running around playing with their lawnmowers. Hopefully you can hear me. But it's a beautiful day out this morning, so we are out early this morning. Last couple weeks has been kind of weird and cold in the mornings, and the last 2 days have been nice and warm during the day, and it's beautiful out this morning. I think it's going to be almost, I think it's going to be 75 or something today. So I wanted to get out this morning. A big truck before it gets too hot and just give you a quick tour of the garden right now. I haven't been doing too many videos recently because I've had my hands full with two littles, and I just kind of sneak over to the garden here and there, like 5 minutes at a time, plant something here, put some seeds in there, do some weeding and stuff. We did some weeding a while back. My husband tilled up the whole garden and I pulled out all of the grass weeds and everything, and so I'll put a clip of that in here somewhere. But I just want to give you, stay out of the flower beds please. Good job. I'll just give you a quick tour of what's growing in the garden right now, and you can see all my little baby plant starts that my kiddos help me plant. And yeah, so you can just kind of see where our garden is. So it's starting to get warm. I don't know if, I know we're gonna have another storm. I don't know if it's gonna get cold again, but it's not gonna be cold enough to freeze or anything. Our frost days are over. So it's in the 40s, in the mid 40s at night. Sometimes low 40s, but pretty much the mid 40s at night. High 60s, low 70s during the day. So I have a few plants out. So let's go check out what I have in the garden. So to start off, I do have these green stalks. We've got 2 of them planted here. They're doing okay. These are some, there's broccoli and kale growing in these guys, and some strawberry plants that overwintered from last season that we got lots of strawberries on. And my little baby girl learned that the red fruit is delicious, and so she likes to pick them early, and she'll pull them off and eat the strawberry before it's really ready. So, okay, excuse all of the weeds. I've been slowly coming in here as the kids play. They're still little, so I keep an eye on them, but anytime I know they're a little occupied, or I give them some PlayStation or something, like a like sensory bins or something where I know they're gonna be in one spot for a little while, I'll come and weed the garden. But I know there's lots of grass and weeds and stuff, but it's still coming along. So I have in here carrots. These are my row of carrots. We've got sugar snap peas that are going to grow over this arch trellis here. So I have my big arch trellis that these sugar snap peas will grow over this side. I did end up planting cucumbers on the other side here. So I don't know how, well, we just put those in the ground. I started those in the greenhouse, and we just transplanted them. So right now in here we were given let's see. So over here I started these, I have carrots and then kale. I started all of these directly from seed. I just put them in the garden. The carrots I kind of just tossed in here. I have a few different varieties in here, so there'll be rainbow carrots, and my son actually, I gave him the seed packet and I let him just sprinkle and have fun. So there's a few random ones throughout, but they're mainly here. And then we have kale. And then on that long side is supposed to be a row of onions and a row of radishes, which you can see 2 radishes made it. The birds really like my radish starts, so seedlings, they like to come in and sit on the trellis and come and pick out their favorite seedlings to eat. So that's been a battle here, but we don't eat very many radishes anyway. I was just growing them to have another variety and introduce my babies to all different kinds of foods. So you'll see here we have some dinosaur, or I think it's pronounced lacinato. I can't remember the name. I'll put the name on the screen. But these are the dinosaur kale. They get really, really big. And then we have more of the kind that you see in the grocery stores. Those are the blue Scotch curled kale. Over here we have a couple cabbage starts. Those are actually from seed. I don't know if they're gonna make it because it is starting to get warm, and so by the time they actually start to form any kind of head and ball up, it might get too hot for them. They might just go to seed, but we'll see. We'll leave them in there until I need the space. I was gifted an artichoke plant, and I'm really excited for him. I know he does get big. I know that you can trim back the leaves, so we'll see how that one goes. But I do like artichoke. I'm the only person in my immediate family right here in my household that likes artichoke, but we will introduce it to our babies this year, so that'll be fun. And then they have a whole bunch of broccoli and cauliflower starts. So don't ask me which one is which. I did not label them all. I just had a bunch. You'll see more on the other side, and I just kind of, wherever I had space, I just put them in. Because I got them late and they were free. They were a beautiful gift from a friend who had a bunch of extra ones. She taught her students how to grow from seed, and they had a ton of extra starts, and so they didn't have any space in their in-grown garden and gifted us a bunch of the extras. So I put them in the garden everywhere I had spots, and if they grow and make broccoli and cauliflower, we'll use it, and if I run out of time and I need to put the other plants in, then we'll cut them down and add them in as nutrients. But if I didn't grow any, then there was no chance of getting any, right? So I grew peas on my trellises last year, and in the past I've only done just one trellis, or just the like entryway trellis, and then last year I did it on all of them and created this just beautiful wall of peas. Trellis we started.
Mama.
What, buddy?
Mama.
Good job. This trellis we started a little early, and then the other trellises are a couple weeks behind, so that's why they're a little bit smaller. But it's on all 4 of these trellis panels plus half of the archway, and hopefully there's enough time for them to grow and actually grow some peas. They did get started late. Next year I will be putting the seeds in the ground in November, I think. This year we did in January, so they're a little late. Yes, buddy. So the other plants that so those are more of the broccoli and cauliflower starts all through here. We also ended up putting our squash and zucchini plants in the other day. Let me go on the other side. So we have all the way down over here. Whoops. This one is gonna be, am I recording? Yeah. So that one's a yellow squash. Then we have just a regular, I think it's just the black beauty, or just a regular green zucchini. This one is a gray zucchini, and then these two are the Italian striped zucchini that they get long and skinny, and those are really good for roasting or for putting on the barbecue on the grill. Is really good. So then over here, my son helped me with these two beautiful bean plants. He did a really good job putting them in the ground and patting the soil around them to make them nice and healthy. We did this a few days ago, so they transplanted really well and are super happy and growing more leaves. These are two bush variety beans. So there's pole variety, which will climb up a trellis. These ones are bush variety, so they'll stay nice and bushy. The bush variety tends to put all of their beans on at one time, so you can go in and pick all of the beans, versus the pole varieties, because they continue to grow, they will put beans on at different times. This is my 2025 garden so far. I also did put some sweet potatoes in random places, so we'll see how those do. We made it over to the greenhouse. This, just so you can see, this greenhouse definitely has seen some better days. We've had a couple storms since we've got it, and this is a greenhouse from Harbor Freight that we got in purchased in 21. It was 2021, at the end of 21. We put it together January of 22. And I love it. I absolutely love it, but it is it doesn't withstand wind very well. So we don't have a lot of windstorms, but we had we've had 2 or 3 big ones in the last several years, and so you can see the roof panels blew off, and this happened just last month. It was because, I think because of the pressure from, so this top panel and then the right inside roof panel were missing, and so because of that it created a weird flow, and so this door frame ended up blowing out and this other roof panel blew out. So now I'm missing those, and you know what, it's okay for right now. See, we had to screw this board in because the first big windstorm kind of blew and cracked the whole frame, and so the doors couldn't close or anything, so we bolted this board on there so that it would kind of hold the frame. This greenhouse, it still holds heat. I mean, it's 93 in here, so it still holds heat. Obviously, if it were to like freeze or anything, it would get cold in here, but we are in the end of February, so that's not really going to happen anymore here in Central Valley of California. I do have some starts still in here. I have a few that were slower to germinate, so I have a couple watermelon, my last little bean that kind of got sad, but it looks like he's doing happy now, so I'll get him out there. I have, looks like, only 3 marigolds sprouted, but I'll get them in the garden. But these 2 trays, nothing sprouted in those, so I don't know if the weather conditions, the temperature conditions were not right, and I'll wait a little longer maybe as it warms up, because I don't know though, it shouldn't be. Maybe it's too hot. Some of them are lettuce, but the watermelons, I think the seeds are just old, and I know the older seeds can still germinate, but I'm telling you, I don't know. Watermelon, cantaloupe, those seeds are probably 5 or 6 years old now. But I do have my pepper plants. I started these pepper plants last year in the spring, and I put all of the little seedling starts into my green stalk here, and they grew okay. We produced a decent amount of peppers. Not enough to do much with, but I do have them in the freezer to make some kind of hot sauce or something. But you can see the little leaves, babies are starting, so I put this green stalk in here to overwinter and keep them from dying in the frost, and they're doing really well. Obviously peppers love the heat, so since it's gets close to 100, if not 100 degrees in here during the daytime, these pepper plants are doing wonderful. So quite a few of these have new growth, and that's going to give me a head start on my pepper plants this year because they're already growing this big in February. So my thought was, once the days get warmer and the nights especially get warmer to the point where peppers could be happy outside, I'm gonna try and transplant the healthy ones into the garden, the raised bed. I don't know. I think I'll do all of them because I'd like for them to have the opportunity to grow even bigger and produce more peppers. And because if they stay in here, they're not gonna grow very big because the containers aren't too great, and it's a container, so it can't get a lot of nutrients. Oh, sorry, my camera's going crooked and all over the place. Yeah, so that's in the greenhouse, and then these guys, good job, kiddos. So I started all of these seeds in January. I did everybody in one day. Not always what you want to do, but I had a friend came by and wanted to play with my children. They came over and watched my kids for me so that I could spend a day in the greenhouse gardening and just have a day to myself. And so I spent a couple hours, started all of these seeds just all in one go. I was like, you know what? They're just seeds. If they don't grow, they don't grow. If they grow too fast, oh well. I just did them all. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have another day, so I did them. So we have zinnias, 3 different kinds of zinnias, tomatoes. There's lettuce in here that I'm gonna put into the green stock. I have some different melons, I don't know, it's French. It's a French melon. It's similar to a cantaloupe is what it looks like. I'm really hoping that one will grow. My honeymoon melon, we really like that one. It's a yellow, bright yellow skin with a green flesh inside. Tastes very similar to a honeydew melon, but a little bit more flavor like a cantaloupe. So that one is really, really yummy. More of our Armenian cucumbers because a lot of my neighbors like to grow them too, so I started extras for them. These are all pumpkins. We have a property down the way that I want to put some rows in this year and see if I can get some pumpkin plants to grow. They're starting to yellow, so I need to get them in the ground. So I have pumpkins here and pumpkins over here. There's these Delice de la Table melons that are similar to a cantaloupe as well, and I've tried them in my garden. I don't really want to give space to them in the garden. I'd rather have cantaloupe and the honeymoon melon and the ones that I know that we'll eat. These ones I'm gonna go put with the pumpkins down the way and see how well they do over there, because the thought is that if we can grow a decent amount down there, then we'll start putting more and more down there every year. And then I have a whole bunch of tomatoes, more tomatoes. So tomatoes, I like to put a bunch of seeds in one pot. Look at those roots. Because these are really easy to separate out and put into bigger pots. Or bigger pots, separate pots, and then they'll grow even bigger. But if you just do 1 or 2 seeds per pot, you end up with some empty pots if they didn't germinate, and I don't want to waste that soil and waste those pots if that's going to happen. So I like to put multiple seeds in a pot and then I separate them out and only end up using the amount of pots that actually have seeds. So for the most part, my tomatoes always have some germination because I have multiple seeds in them. And then I also started onions. I actually filled this whole tray with onion seeds, different varieties. So I would do like a strip, a strip, a strip, of onion varieties. So it looks like these, whatever I put here, didn't germinate at all. So I don't know if those seeds are too old or they got damaged by the heat somehow or something. But this will be a good start to the onions that we need for the year. We use a lot of onions in our cooking. But I'm really excited to plant those out. So that's my garden so far for the 2025 season. This will be my summer garden. There are obviously some spring stuff like the peas and everything. Those are going to die off once it starts to get too hot here. It does get over 100 degrees here for a good chunk of our summer. And the peas, things like peas, the cucumbers sometimes can't handle it. If the cucumbers are in the shade, they can sometimes make it through, and you water them every day, twice a day. So we'll see. But the peas definitely are going to get too hot and they're going to die off. And I use the space that the peas are on for my tomatoes. Anyway, I use those trellises to tie up my tomatoes. So that's my summer 2025 garden. If you want to know the varieties of all of my plants, I can show you guys those next time. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a lovely growing season. Bye!